Okay, so continuing on with our proving angles congruent, we're going to use some of the theorems that we just learned to help us find the values of x in some of these examples. Along the top it says find the value of x. It doesn't tell us to find the angle, but in this case finding x is finding the angle. Notice here we have a straight line down here, so 130 and x, they must be supplementary. They must add up to 180 because a straight line is 180 degrees. If you wanted to think about that, you would know that, well, 180 minus 130 is equal to x. If you wanted to write it as an equation, you can say that 130 plus x is 180, and then you solve for x, which is taking 180 minus 30, so x must be equal to 50 degrees. Okay, notice up here they don't give you a number, but we know that this little box means that this angle is 90 degrees. So that means, since they're supplementary, all right, they're adding up to 180, they're forming a line, that x must also be equal to 90 degrees. All right, now notice up here, they give us this box. That means that this is 90. So that means that the other angle here, this angle, must also be 90. So what we have here is that 55 plus x must equal 90. So x is going to be equal to 90 minus 55. So x will be 35 degrees. Okay, so there's the first example. Those are pretty straightforward. Let's look at the bottom two here where we make use of the vertical angles are congruent. If you remember from a previous video, we said that vertical angles are congruent. That means when you see that little crisscross, and that's hard to make, you see that little crisscross, we know that the angles across from each other are congruent. These are congruent, these are congruent. So what we can do if we want to find x is we can just say, well, 4x is equal to 3x plus 35. This angle is equal to that angle. And when we set them equal, we get an equation here, and all we have to do is solve for x. So in this case, we want to get x by itself. We have an x over here, we have an x here. Let's move the 3 over there with 4 with his buddy. So we have to subtract 3 from both sides, and we get 4x minus 3x, that's 1x. You don't have to write the 1. 3x minus 3x is 0, and 35 will slide down. So x is equal to 35. Take a second and pause the video and try this next one on your own. This is 2x plus 3. This is 4x minus 101. Take a second, see if you can solve for x, and then come back and I'll show you the example. All right, so we're back. These are obviously vertical angles, so we can set them equal to each other. 2x plus 3 is equal to 4x minus 101. All right, so now it's a game of solving for x. In this case, we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. Remember, we could have just as easily subtracted 4x from both sides, but I like to do it to keep my x positive. So 2x minus 2x goes away. We're left with 3. And then we've got 4x minus 2x is 2x. And then this minus 100 wasn't touched, so it comes down. All right. Then we have to get the 101 away from the x. Our goal is to get x by itself. So I have to add 101 to both sides. So 3 plus 101 is 104, 2x, and then these cancel out. And then finally, to get x by itself, you're going to divide both sides by 2. 2 will go into 104 52 times. So x is equal to 52. If you have any questions, bring them to class.